Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're going to take a quick look at my brand new Elgato HD60 capture card. Elgato was actually nice enough to send one my way last week, so I thought, what the hell, I might as well show you guys what it's all about. I should point out though that I wasn't obliged to make this video at all, and I'm certainly not obliged to say anything good about it. The fact is though, I am pretty impressed by this card, which is why I wanted to tell you guys about it, especially considering how many of you guys play on console. So what is the Elgato HD60? Well, basically, it's a HDMI capture device for Mac and PC that makes all of the videos on this channel possible. For the last year or so, I've been using the original Elgato game capture, which, as you can see on the screen, is a bit bigger than the HD60 and isn't quite as good in terms of specs. The big difference between the original card and the HD60, as you can sort of tell by the name, is the fact that the HD60 records in 60fps at 1080p, unlike the old card which can only record 1080p at 30fps. A lot of console games only run at 30fps though, so the original game capture is still great for a lot of stuff, but the HD60 definitely does look a lot better for games like Battlefield and Call of Duty. In terms of connections, well, the HD60 is pretty basic, with a HDMI in and out, a standard mini USB connector, and an 1/8" jack audio input connector. Unlike the original card though, the HDMI input and the USB port have been put on the same side of the HD60, which is definitely a bit better for cable management. The new card will record just about anything, but it is worth mentioning that it unfortunately doesn't have the breakout cable of the old device to allow connections to the PS3 or retro consoles. If you really do want to record PS3 with a HD60 though, you can get around this issue by using a DVI converter or a HDMI splitter that's capable of stripping the HDCP from the HDMI signal. Now, in terms of software, well, the HD60 is designed to run with Elgato's own game capture software, which basically gives you all the tools you need for the capture process. It's capable of flashback or manual recording of video and live commentary, and it's also capable of directly streaming to services like Twitch and YouTube. I think probably the best feature of the Elgato software though is that it's got a simple MP4 editing function that allows you to trim and export your clips without losing any quality. The software also has quite a few neat features for streamers, including overlays, but assuming you want more control over your stream, the device is also capable of running with third-party programs like OBS. One of the only cons I've found so far about the HD60 though is the fact that it records at a max of 30 megabits per second at 30fps or 40 megabits per second at 60fps. This basically means that you'll have less bandwidth per frame when you're on 60fps, which means 30fps will look slightly better even if it's not as smooth. I first figured this out when I was using the Mac version of the software, which is a little bit behind the PC version and actually tops out at a max of 30 megabits per second on 60fps instead of 40. I'm sure this is something that they'll probably fix later, but it is worth mentioning that if you're a Mac user, for the time being you'll probably want to record on a Windows partition if you want to get the best possible quality. So all in all, there really isn't a lot to complain about when it comes to the HD60, so if you're looking to get a new capture card, then this definitely would be my pick of the bunch. The original game capture is pretty good though, so if you're interested in recording retro games or you just don't care about 60fps, then you might want to take a look at this one instead. Just before we finish up though, I should mention that in either case you will want to make sure that you have a decent PC capable of running this card properly. I'd say that's probably the only limitation of this device, but then if you're buying a capture card then you probably already have a rig capable of video editing. But anyway, that just about wraps up this video, so a big thanks to Elgato and MXE Games for making this video possible, and as always, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description below if you want to see more of my videos, or if you'd like to support my channel on Patreon, and until next time, see you later and have a good one.